From Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium in Annapolis, it's the Collegiate Sprint Football League, the CSFL, as the Navy midshipmen play host to the Penn Quakers. Hi again, everybody. I'm Scott Wyckoff, along with our director Shane Bowler and our Navy athletics crew, as we bring you Sprint football on this Friday night, senior night at the United States Naval Academy. The only thing different in college sprint football is that all players must be 178 pounds or less. Penn, red hot. They are off to their best start in 14 years, a perfect 5-0 with the Navy midshipmen at 4-1, their final home game of the season. Their only loss here a few weeks ago to their arch rivals from Army. A lot on the line in this one. Postseason implications, a Navy win tonight sends the midshipmen to the CSFL Championship on Saturday, November 16th at West Point. So getting ready to kick things off for the midshipmen now. The freshman kicker who's had such an outstanding season, Ja'Cory Sutton. Penn won the coin toss and decided to receive. Back deep for the Quakers, Josh Johnson at his own 5-yard line, along with Matt McKillop. As these two teams on a Friday night, both coming off wins last week. Navy shutting out Malloy 34-0, and Penn going to 5-0, beating Caldwell 24-14 on the road last week. So what will give in the South Division? So Ja'Cory Sutton all set to go. A beautiful night for football. This first Friday in November, unusually warm. The breeze coming out of the west. And the kick is away. Johnson fields it at his own 20, right up the middle. Gets it out to the 35-yard line. And that's where the Penn Quakers offense will get things going. An offense that last week had 19 first downs, with freshman quarterback Michael Malone throwing a 17-yard touchdown pass to Jake Wang in the third quarter. Push Penn past Caldwell to give the Quakers their best start since 2010. Malone, the freshman quarterback from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, from high school powerhouse Mount Lebanon, which is very familiar for Navy football fans with both Eli Heidenreich and Alex Teska from Mount Lebanon. First pass of the game completed to Jake Wang, the tight end. He picks up 5, second down, and 5 to go. First drive of the ball game on this senior night for Navy here at Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium in Annapolis. A great ceremony. 14 of the Navy seniors honored out on the field before the games. Parents, family, girlfriends. Such a great way to get this game going, to honor the families and the friends who support these players and to honor these seniors in their final home game here at this historic stadium. And there's the Navy captain, Andrew Bailey, the senior from right here in Annapolis. Played his high school football at Archbishop Spalding for Kyle Schmidt, a state power, the number 1 ranked high school team in the state of Maryland right now. Makes the stop. So 3rd and long right now for Penn on their first series of the game. Head coach Jerry McConnell, his 3rd season as head coach at Penn, 16th year coaching sprint football at Penn, 12 of those as the offensive coordinator. Malone with Tom Rebstock in the backfield, out of the gun. Complete to midfield for the first down. Kyle Zeitlian into Navy territory. So 3rd and long. Malone finds Zeitlian open on the near sideline, makes a move, and gets into Navy territory. 1st and 10 now at the 47. As I said in the open, 19 first downs in that win last week over Caldwell. Pushed the Quakers' record to a perfect 5-0 and 1-0 in the South Division. Malone will give to Rebstock. Cuts it back. Picks up 6. Tom Rebstock averaging 60 yards a game and 4 yards a carry coming into this one. At times he picks up 6 to the Navy 41-yard line. That Navy defensive line, David Niskey, Andrew Bailey, Mick Tabor, and Major Kent from left to right. 3 seniors and a sophomore. The freshman quarterback for Penn has it batted up into the air. It goes incomplete. Major Kent tipping the ball at the line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd and 4. Penn's opening drive of the night at the Navy 41-yard line. We'll send 4 receivers out into the Panther. Decides to hand up the middle, and a stop by the Navy defensive line on 3rd down. JT Goodman, sophomore running back from Howell, New Jersey, can get back to just beyond the line of scrimmage. Picks up 1 on the carry. It'll be 4th down, and it looks as though Jerry McConnell is going to send into play and go for it on 4th down at the Navy 40-yard line. Andy Falletta, the receiver at the top of your screen. Malone with the single setback. Will give it to Rebstock, and he does get the 1st down. Tom Rebstock follows the right side of that big Penn Quakers offensive line, and big can only get so big. Sprint football, the rule, all players must be 178 pounds or less. And what a long rivalry this has been for these two teams. The 79th season of Navy sprint football dating back to 1946. And that's when these two teams played their first game in 1946. Malone keeps it himself. 1 yard on the game to the Navy 35-yard line. The 88th meeting between Navy and Penn dating back to 1946. Navy has dominated the series, leading 77 wins, 8 losses, and 2 ties. Navy has won the last 5 games of this series and 10 of the last 12. Good opening drive for the Quakers, who started back at their own 25-yard line. 2nd and 9 from the Navy 35. 10.5 minutes left to go in the first quarter. No score. Malone pressured, tucks it away, and he'll slide to the 32-yard line of Navy. Good coverage downfield by the mids. That defensive backfield of Seamus Carrasco, Angelo Pearson, Sean Betway, and Tyler Cox. Tyler, one of the 14 seniors honored on the field before the game. Great coverage, forcing Malone to tuck it away. This will be the third down of this opening drive for Penn, and they have converted so far on the first 2. One on a long pass to midfield, the other on a run by Tom Rebstock. They're going to throw a blitz, down for the sack. The blitz comes for Navy and one David Niskey. Niskey on the sack. It'll be 4th down, and this time the mids stop the Quakers, forcing a punt. Adrian Montemayor, the current Special Teams Player of the Week, punts it away. Tries to pop it down. Carrasco will let it bounce. It's going to take a nice roll for the Quakers all the way down to the Navy 4-yard line. And that's where we will see the midshipmen with their first series of the night on a bend but not break opening drive defensively for the midshipmen. As the Quakers could get down as far as the Navy 35-yard line. Then it was a sack by David Niskey forcing the punt. Now the midshipmen started deep in their own territory. So Penn giving the ball up but flipping the field. That punt from Montemayor, 37 yards. Navy senior quarterback, Captain Luke Wagner, keeps it himself, tries to get a little breathing room, pushes it out to the 5-yard line, pickup of 1. for this Navy offense that ran for 205 yards last week. Hunter Jennings and Broderick Freeman each scoring a pair of touchdowns. Jennings averaging almost 7 yards a carry in that ball game last week, as he has this season, averaging 6.9 yards a carry for the sophomore Navy running back. Alone in the backfield is Luke Wagner. At his own goal line. Quick flare to the near side. Connects. Up over the 12 to the 14-yard line. Pass is caught. Out of the backfield by E.B. Denson, the 5'6" freshman running back from Bridgeton Academy. Grew up in Boston. And a first down for Navy. Quick release by Wagner. Luke Wagner has started all 5 games now for the midshipmen. Time to throw to the near sideline. Connects with Nakiri. Did he get his feet down? No. They say he was out of bounds. The freshman wide receiver from nearby Baltimore made the nice catch, but couldn't tiptoe and get the toes down along the sidelines. Second down and 10 for the midshipmen. 7:38 left to go in this scoreless first quarter. Senior night in Annapolis. The Collegiate Sprint Football League, the CSFL. Undefeated Penn Quakers at 5-0 and the 4-1 Navy midshipmen. Opening drive of the ball game for the midshipmen. From their own 15-yard line, Nakiri in motion. Jennings gets it up over the 20, breaks it free, right up the middle, out to close to midfield. Touchdown saving tackle, but not before Hunter Jennings breaks it out all the way to the 45-yard line. Jennings with a nice hole off of the left guard. And the midshipmen get plenty of breathing room on the big hitter by Hunter Jennings all the way out to the 45-yard line. First and 10 for the midshipmen. Wagner hands to Denson. He stopped at the 46-yard line. Pick up one. That was a 30-yard run for Hunter Jennings. Montemayor with the touchdown saving tackle. So not only getting things done on special teams for Penn, but also making a huge play, because it looked as though Jennings had a step close to midfield, but he was taken down by Montemayor. Second down and 9 for Navy at their own 46-yard line. No score, first quarter. Quick pass out of the right side to Denson again. This time gets it up over the 50 to the 49-yard line. For the first time tonight, the midshipmen find themselves in Quakers territory. Third down and 4. This will be the final home game of the season for the Mids here at Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium in Annapolis. Next week, they're on the road at Caldwell, Saturday game, while Penn also on the road next week nearby in suburban Philadelphia at Chestnut Hill. Wagner, bubble screen again, this time to the near side to E.B. Denson once again. He gets back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be fourth down. So we'll see Ja'Cory Sutton out on the field for the second time tonight. Both the kicker and punter for the midshipmen. Sutton averaging 37 yards a punt this season, as long as 51 yards. This will be his 14th punt of the season. Back deep for Penn is Josh Johnson. His heels at his own 15-yard line. Sutton, punt is away. Johnson will let it bounce, and it will bounce nicely for the midshipmen inside the 10-yard line. It'll be marked right at the 10-yard line by the side judge, John Nally. Our officials, as assigned by the Collegiate Sprint Football League, referee Stephen Gorski. Our umpire is Michael Purcell. Head linesman Charles Engel. Line judge is Eddie Ailsich. The back judge is Matthew Adamko. The field judge, Nick Morrow, and the side judge, who just marked that ball, John Nally. On a rather balmy night in Annapolis, 70 degrees at kickoff. The winds have shifted a little bit out of the southeast at 10. Clear, but it is whipping around a little bit down on the field. Went down on the field before the game. But on the field turf surface, you imagine, it hasn't really rained here in the Mid-Atlantic for, I think, going on 3 weeks now. This morning, a very light rain moved through the area, but nothing really to affect anything out here. Second series of the night for the Quakers. No score. 4 minutes remaining in the scoreless first quarter in Annapolis. Malone hands to Rebstock. Pickup of 4. Third down. Navy had the field flipped on them. For their first drive, they had to start all the way back inside the 5-yard line. And now, after that nice punt by Ja'Cory Sutton of 39 yards right to the 10-yard line. Malone hands off to Tom Rebstock. Hit and stopped at the 15-yard line. Andrew Bailey in on the tackle along with the leading tackler for the midshipmen, inside linebacker Jake Walensky, the junior from North Andover, Massachusetts, and North Andover High School. Now the midshipmen have a great opportunity to get some good field position. At midfield to receive the punt is Seamus Carrasco. He'll call the fair catch at his own 43-yard line. And the midshipmen are going to have some excellent field position for their second drive of the evening. Join us for one of the best traditions in college basketball this November 8th as Navy hosts the 11th annual Veterans Classic. The event will begin at 6 p.m. at Alumni Hall with a matchup between Boston College and VCU, followed by an 8:30 tip-off between Navy and Harvard. For tickets to the Veterans Classic, call 1-800-US4-NAVY or visit NavySports.com. Had a great chance to talk to Navy head men's basketball coach in his 14th season, Ed DeChellis, on our Navy Football Radio Network broadcast a couple weeks ago. Really excited about this season, about this team that he has returning. It opens things up at St. Joe's in Philadelphia early this coming week, but then comes back for the Veterans Classic. What a great idea it was for Ed DeChellis when he came here from Penn State to honor the veterans right around Veterans Day, bringing 3 teams to the Naval Academy Yard. They spend a couple days, learn what it's like to be a midshipman. Great night of basketball. Second down and 8 for the mids. Wagner keeps it himself. A little stiff arm. There is a flag thrown, and it might be a hold. Andy Jones, the left guard, took down his man, and that's where the flag was thrown. It'll be a hold against the midshipmen. Mentioned 14 seniors honored before the game on this senior night. All they have done in their 3+ years at the Naval Academy is win 3 CSFL championships, going for a perfect 4 in a row this season. A Navy win tonight will send those seniors and their midshipmen teammates to the CFFL championship game on Saturday, November 16th at West Point. A Penn win could throw things into a crazy, almost 3-way tiebreaker. Wagner hands to Hunter Jennings, had that big 30-yard run. This time gets back a little bit of the yardage. They're down and 15 now for the mids. The holding penalty was on Robert Flores. First penalty of the night against the mids. Third down and long. Minute and a half remaining in this scoreless first quarter. Luke Wagner from Edmond, Oklahoma. In the pocket, hit as he throws. What a catch at midfield. Chris Stump, fellow senior from Staten Island, goes up high to bring it down. As his teammate and classmate here at the Naval Academy, Luke Wagner was drilled when he let that ball go. Gets back a lot of the yardage that was lost on the hold. For the second time tonight, the midshipman will punt. Ja'Cory Sutton, the punt of 39 yards, his first time out. That deep return man, Josh Johnson, let bounce. Johnson back again at his own 10-yard line. High end over end punt. Johnson will once again let this one roll, and it will roll inside the 5 to the 4-yard line. So twice now, Ja'Cory Sutton has pinned the Quakers deep in their own territory, just like his counterpart for Penn, Adrian Montemayor, pinned the midshipman deep inside their 5-yard line. So with 25 seconds to go, the midshipmen can make a stop here. They will make Penn walk a long ways down to the other end of the field. Just a few seconds, probably one play left in this quarter. Freshman quarterback Michael Malone keeps it himself, and he'll just get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. A little bit of pushing. Did the ball come loose? Midshipman thought so, pointing that way. It'll be marked with the runner down. And that will do it for the first quarter here in Annapolis. Some spectacular punting from the two teams so far. After 15 minutes of play, no score between Penn and Navy. Friday Night Lights in Annapolis in the Collegiate Sprint Football League. All set to go in the second quarter as the long walk from the 1-4 down at the water tower end of Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium down to the main entrance where the teams come in. It'll be third and long after this short run for the Quakers. Navy football is nationally ranked, coming in last week. That ranking before the Notre Dame game, 24th in the nation. What a year it's been for the midshipmen, 6-1. Don't miss your final chance to see Navy football play here at Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium in the regular season finale against conference rival Tulane. Senior Day here in Annapolis, November 16th at 12 noon. For tickets, call 1-800-US4-NAVY or go to NavySports.com. Final home game of the regular season for the Navy Sprint football team here. Long down the near sidelines, outside the reach of Andy Falletta. Excellent coverage right in front of his own bench by Sean Betway. It goes incomplete. Again, another great opportunity for the midshipmen to get some great field position, stopping Penn deep in their own territory at their 6. And not a lot of room for Adrian Montemayor in that checkerboard end zone. His heel's almost right up against the end line. But Seamus Carrasco at midfield A low line drive punt. It will bounce. And that will give Navy excellent field position at the Penn 45-yard line. In this, the first season for Navy head coach Captain Carter Reading, United States Marine Corps, a 2016 Naval Academy grad, taking over for Major Alfonso Matus this year, also a fellow Marine, who had a 23-1 record over his 3 years as head coach and 3 CSFL championships. Member of the sprint team when he was at the Naval Academy. Now as a player and a coach, Carter Reading is 28-5. Hunter Jennings, who does such a nice job letting that hole develop, as you see there, to the 41-yard line. Just underway in the second quarter. No score. Navy with 62 total yards of offense in that first quarter. Penn 33. The big play for Navy was a 30-yard run by Hunter Jennings, but then the midshipman couldn't convert on fourth down. Second down and 5. After that 5-yard carry by Jennings. Wagner, handoff to Jennings right up the middle. Jennings with a first down. Hunter Jennings coming into the game tonight, averaging 111 yards a game in Navy's previous 5, and well on his way there. Jennings, 4 carries for 45 yards now. First and 10 for the midshipmen at the Penn 33-yard line. This time it's Broderick Freeman in the backfield. Wagner under center. Hands off to Jennings, who had set up on the far side and kind of swung around. A little bit of a sweep. Short gain for the midshipmen. Jennings, 5'11", sophomore from Linton, Indiana. Played his high school football at Linton Stockton. Making all sorts of runs here tonight, as he has all season long. The sophomore in the backfield. That's Denson in motion. The head to Jennings, near side. He'll be taken down right in front of his bench. Matt McKillop, senior linebacker from Scarsdale, New York, and Fordham Prep with the tackle. Another third and long. So both for Navy and Lehigh, they've been kind of behind the chains through the first 15 and now the first 3.5 minutes of this second quarter. We've seen a number of third and long. Navy is 0 for 2 on third down, while Penn is 1 for 5. Luke Wagner steps up, throws, complete, first down to Chris Stump. Stump to the Roger Staubach 12-yard line as the midshipmen convert on their first third down of the night, as they are now deep in Penn territory. The quick hitter to Chris Stump, the senior wide receiver from Staten Island and St. Peter's Boys Academy. Stump's 11th catch of the season, averaging 16 yards a catch. That time, enough for a first down. Hunter Jennings, right at the middle. Jennings to the 5-yard line. Jennings into the checkerboard end zone. Touchdown, Navy. Hunter Jennings, 9th touchdown to lead the midshipmen this season. And Navy takes the touchdown lead with 10:31 left to go in the second quarter. After the first down pass of 16 yards to Chris Stump, the touchdown run by Hunter Jennings. Looking to complete with the extra point. Ja'Cory Sutton out of the hold of backup quarterback Luke O'Connell. And just like that, 4.5 minutes into the second quarter, and Navy has taken a 7-0 lead on the 13-yard touchdown run by Hunter Jennings. That scoring drive for the midshipmen, 6 plays, 46 yards. It took 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Really, the two big plays was the 16-yard pass for a first down on third down from Luke Wagner to his classmate Chris Stump. And then Hunter Jennings finds a hole on the outside and then finds the checkerboard end zone from 13 yards out. And Navy has jumped out to the 7-0 lead. That time, they had the excellent field position as the Navy defense pinned Penn deep back in their own territory. Drives the ball, taking it down into the end zone. Navy offensive coordinator, their captain from a year ago, Second Lieutenant Liam Brown, the United States Marine Corps, a temporary assignment duty assistant coach, a TAD, taking over midseason as a Navy offensive coordinator. The kick to Josh Johnson at his own 20, right at the middle. Outside, Johnson out to the 40-yard line. Nice return for Penn. Special teams tackle by Gabriel Areola Hansen, sophomore linebacker from Tempe, Arizona. Some pretty good field position for Penn. They trail 7-0, 10 minutes, 24 seconds remaining in the first half. On a 70-degree night here in Annapolis, as the winds that we had a little bit earlier have died down. Malone, pressured in the backfield. He'll hold it himself. He's got room to run. There is a flag thrown. 2 flags back by the line of scrimmage. Michael Malone was pressured, found that opening outside, had more than enough for a first down. But both those flags thrown in the interior line. Referee Stephen Gorski with the call holding against Penn. So a big play brought back in a big way with that pressure from the Navy defensive line. That time, it was Mick Tabor, the 5'7" sophomore from Omaha, Nebraska, and Creighton Prep, that was held as he was pressuring the freshman quarterback. So first down and 20 for Penn at their own 30-yard line. Malone throws it long down the far sidelines, up in the air and broken up. Sean Betway, sophomore defensive back for the midshipmen, gets a hand and tips it away. As going up high for it was Kyle Zeitlian, the senior wide receiver from Los Angeles and Brentwood High School. As head coach and offensive coordinator Jerry McConnell looked to make a big one after the big run was called back for the hold. Looked long down the sideline, knocked away by the Navy defensive back. Second down and 20 for Penn from their own 30-yard line. Hand off to J.T. Goodman, the sophomore running back from Howell, New Jersey, and the Hun School. Maybe a pickup of 1. This Navy defensive line looking sharp on the far side. At time, Major Kent holding the edge, senior, Dallas, Texas. Third and 20 now for Penn. Right across the middle, up in the air, almost intercepted. Tipped away by Simon Berger and almost intercepted by a diving Tyler Cox. It is fourth down. As Malone looking right over the middle. That the ball was almost intercepted by the midshipmen. Carrasco We'll let this one go. It'll take a Penn roll inside the Navy 30 to the 28-yard line. And that's where the Mids will get the ball back. With the 7-0 lead, just under 9 minutes remaining in the first half. Navy men's and women's basketball season tickets are on sale now. Join us all season long at Alumni Hall as your men's and women's basketball teams look to take home the Patriot League Championship, as season tickets for Navy basketball start as low as $75. For tickets, call 1-800-US4-NAVY or visit NavySports.com. Here in Annapolis, I'm Scott Wyckoff with our Navy Athletics crew, Director Matt McMahon. Over at soccer tonight, so Executive Director Shane Bowler alongside as Hunter Jennings bounces it outside out over the 41-yard line. Good to be back with Shane. Shane and I worked together on some Navy baseball broadcasts last spring. Can't wait for the Navy baseball season. It was over at the ballpark this week. They are doing a whole renovation of the field. They have taken up all the field turf, all the dirt, and they're doing a beautiful renovation of the Navy baseball stadium that we'll be back in this spring. Another season of Navy baseball with our Executive Director Shane Bowler here tonight with Sprint Football. First down for the midshipmen off the run by Hunter Jennings, and he picks up 4 on the second carry. So far tonight, Hunter Jennings, 9 carries, 74 yards. He had that 13-yard touchdown run, and that is the difference so far in this one, as this Navy defense has played shutdown on third down against Penn. The Quakers just 1 for 6 on third down. Center Kerry Johnson, shotgun, back to Wagner, rolls right, tipped up in the air. Ben Efris, junior defensive lineman from La Jolla, California, in the Francis Parker School, knocks that one up in the air and away. It's lucky that was not intercepted on the roll to the right by Luke Wagner. Navy senior quarterback. Played his high school football at Mount St. Mary High School in Edmond, Oklahoma. His mom and dad here for senior night. And he'll throw it long down the field, over the middle. He's got Stump down inside the 10-yard line. Chris Stump with another long reception on the pass from Luke Wagner. The seniors combine again for a big chunk play, and Navy has it first and goal at the Penn 8-yard line. Beautifully thrown ball by Luke Wagner. CSFL Academic Honor Roll team from his junior year. That'll be the case, and looking to make all playing team this year. Hunter Jennings hit at the line of scrimmage. Charles Taucus, junior linebacker from Cold Spring Harbor, New York, makes the tackle. No gain for the Mids. Second down and goal from the 7-yard line. Navy trying to go up by a pair of touchdowns on back-to-back drives after big pass plays from Luke Wagner to Chris Stump. Diamunju Nakiri checks in now. He'll be split to the right side. Stump at the bottom of your screen. Wagner keeps it himself. Dives ahead. Maybe got back to the line of scrimmage with under 6 minutes remaining in this first half. Jake Berger will check back in at wide receiver to get another receiver in there now on this third down. Not a lot of room to move with the checkerboard end zone. Only 6 yards away. Wide to the top of your screen. Jackson Sudith with three receivers inside him to the right. Wagner will roll that way. Wagner pressured, throws into the end zone. Touchdown, Navy! Jake Berger in the corner of the end zone on a beautiful pass from Luke Wagner as Berger was open, but Wagner was pressured. The right-handed quarterback running to his left found him. Navy has gone up by 2 touchdowns. Kick is away, and it's good. And with 5:19 left to go in the second quarter, Navy has jumped out to a 14-0 lead on Penn. Officially scoring it to David Niski. I thought it was Berger who was off wide. Niski, number 24, Berger 84. And they'll change it. The touchdown, Jake Berger on the catch from Luke Wagner. The scoring drive, 7 plays for 72 yards, 3 minutes and 34 seconds. The Navy scoring drive before that, 3 minutes and 30 seconds. And for both Navy scoring drives, big pass plays from Luke Wagner to Chris Stump, setting up those touchdowns. That is Jake Berger's first touchdown catch of the season for the freshman from Walnut Creek, California. And Navy now with the 2-touchdown lead. 5:19 left to go in the first half. Mids won 4 of 5 this season. Only loss of the season here against Army in the Star game. And what a special teams tackle. Tucker Updahl, the sophomore linebacker on special teams from Unionville High School in nearby Westchester, Pennsylvania, makes the open field tackle at the 21-yard line. What a way to get yourself into the lineup to make big plays on special teams. 180 total yards of offense for Navy, only 35 so far. That's Rebstock. Strung out. Seamus Carrasco stepping up from his defensive back position to help make the tackle. Along with Angelo Pearson, 5'7" defensive back from Williamsport, Pennsylvania. Navy stringing out the play nicely along that defensive line. That is anchored by senior captain Andrew Bailey. Both his parents, Naval Academy grads, both on the field tonight for senior night as he plays his final game here at Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium. He's on the rush now. Malone throws it far side, too high, outside the reach of Zeitlian. It goes incomplete. Zeitlian did make a catch on that first opening drive for Penn as they moved the ball down the field nicely, but it was kind of a bend and not break Navy defense that finally forced them to punt. And now Navy, here in the second quarter, a pair of back-to-back 3.5-minute touchdown scoring drives, putting the Mids up 14-0. A little over 4 minutes remaining in the first half. Malone to the near side, caught. Jason Shears, a freshman wide receiver from Chemung, New Jersey, with the first down catch on a nice pass from the far hash to the near sideline by Michael Malone. Strong-armed freshman quarterback Already has 6 touchdown passes on the season. Completes another, this time to Andy Valletta, sophomore defensive back from Surf City, New Jersey. His head coach, Jerry McConnell, lives in Ocean City, New Jersey. McConnell, former high school coach, head coach at Holy Cross High School in New Jersey for 3 seasons. Also spent a couple years as assistant at Temple, 5 years as an assistant coach at Rowan College, and 1 season at LaSalle. Now in his 16th year overall coaching for Penn, Malone keeps it himself, but he has nowhere to go. He is gobbled up in the backfield. Simon Berger, the tackle for a loss for the senior from Livonia, Georgia. 3rd and 4 now for Penn. And the difference so far in this game has been 3rd down. Penn only 2 for 7. Navy has been 3 for 5. And 2 of those 3rd down, first downs for Navy kept scoring drives alive. Clock winding, 2.5 minutes to go in the first half. Under the lights, here in Annapolis. Malone, short drop, this time stretching again, and he's going to be sacked again. Andrew Bailey in to make the sack for the midshipman, along with Simon Berger. Back-to-back tackles for loss and sacks against Penn. 4th down. Adrian Montemayor. And there'll be a timeout on the field as the Mids, with 1:57 left, want to get that ball back with a chance to go up by 3 touchdowns into the locker room at halftime. Hey kids, looking for a great way to celebrate your birthday? Have your party at a Navy sporting event with the Bill's Birthday Party Package. Your special day can include a pregame party featuring treats from Chick-fil-A, Fisher's Popcorn, and Nothing Bundt Cakes, as well as game tickets, a video board recognition, and more. For more information, call 1-800-US4Navy. A pair of touchdowns here in the second quarter has put the midshipmen out in front 14-0. Also going on right now, on the yard, Navy men's soccer at the 36-15 mark of the first half. No score between Navy and BU at Glenn Warner Soccer Stadium on the banks of the Severn River. Fair catch by Seamus Carrasco, the junior defensive back from Germantown, Tennessee. It's a pretty good field position again from their own 39-yard line. With 1:55 left to go in the first half. A busy night of athletic on this first Friday in November here at Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium. Sprint football, Navy and Penn. Navy leading 14-0. And on the yard at the Glenn Warner Soccer Facility, no score between Navy and BU in the first half. Mids called the timeout to stop the clock for the punt. To give themselves some time, they will throw the ball. Time to throw. Well outside the reach of Biamungu Nakiri. It goes incomplete, stops the clock with 1:51 remaining. Wagner, 7 of 10 for 96 yards and a touchdown. Only the 3rd incompletion of the night on that one. He's got 4 receivers to his left side, but he's going to throw down the right side. Broken pattern. This time, Chris Stump and Luke Wagner not on the same wavelength. As the clock stops, Stump cut to the inside, and Wagner threw it to the outside. 3rd and 10 for Navy from their own 39-yard line with 1:45 remaining in this first half. Navy looking for a win that would send them to the Collegiate Sprint Football League Championship game on Saturday, November 16th against their arch rivals, the Black Knights of the Hudson at West Point. Hit hard as he throws the ball as Wagner, and it goes incomplete. Wagner drilled by Ryan Horvath, the junior linebacker from Warriorsburg, Pennsylvania. So that means Ja'Cory Sutton will be on to kick for the Mids. Two punts, averaging 43 yards, along of 48 yards so far for the freshman Navy punter. Kick the ball from right around the Joe Bellino 27-yard line. Gets it away. Johnson is back. He will call the fair catch right at the American Athletic Conference logo on the field here at Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium. Still a minute and a half left to go. So Jerry McConnell sends his Quakers back out in the field, hoping for a chance to put some points on the board. Coaching runs deep in the McConnell family. His daughter Katie, the head women's lacrosse coach at Lafayette. His son Tim, a special teams coordinator at South Carolina. They host Texas A&M tomorrow in Columbia. And his son Frank, his offensive line coach here with the Penn sprint football team. They trail by a pair of touchdowns. Malone is going to be sacked again. This time, it's Mick Tabor, the sophomore defensive lineman from Omaha, Nebraska. Taken down at his 20-yard line, a loss of 10. And I would think right now, with a minute 13 left to go in this first half, that Coach McConnell might have seen enough. Going to try to run this clock down and get off to the locker room, try to regroup for the second half. Up to the line of scrimmage with under a minute remaining. They're going to look downfield, pump fake, throw. Down the far side, up for grabs, almost intercepted. Tyler Cox ended up having it bounce off his hands as he fell down right out that Navy wide on the far sidelines in front of the Penn faithful here at Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium. A lot of tailgaters out tonight, and for good reason. What a beautiful evening here in Annapolis. Game time temperature 70 degrees, not a cloud in the sky, gorgeous sunset. Beautiful weekend here in Annapolis. Starting with Navy football here at the stadium just off campus, and on the yard, soccer against BU. 46 seconds ago. Still going after it. This time incomplete. Outside the reach of tight end Jake Wang. It'll be fourth down. So the clock stops on the incompletion. And it will give Navy an opportunity to get the ball back one more time. At midfield is Seamus Carrasco. Montemayor gets it away. Carrasco lets it roll inside the Navy 35 to the 34-yard line. And the clock stops with 32 seconds remaining in this first half. The Penn Quakers at 5-0 are off to their best start since 2010. Beat Caldwell 24-14 last week. Their linebacker Cam Janik and the kicker you just saw there in the punt, Adrian Montemayor, both earning Collegiate Sprint Football League weekly honors. One for Defensive Player of the Week, Janik. Montemayor, the Special Teams Player of the Week. Navy with 32 seconds. A long way to go and a short time to get there. Three receivers to the right of quarterback Luke Wagner. He'll look across the middle. Nakiri catches it into Penn territory to the 45-yard line. And the midshipman will quickly take a timeout. With 24 seconds left to go, the completion over the middle from Luke Wagner to Biamungu Nakiri, the freshman receiver, from the senior quarterback. That ball is smack dab at the 45-yard line, so maybe a shot down towards the end zone or the opportunity to get it into position for a field goal attempt by Ja'Cory Sutton. So far this year for Sutton, He is 6 for 8 on field goals. His longest is 32 yards. So they would have to get it to the 22-yard line to get down close to where he's been able to connect from so far this season. But you've seen on the kickoffs, he does have a big foot. 24 seconds remaining. Luke Wagner at midfield takes a snap, rolls right, throws on the run. He's got Stump, got it! Touchdown, Navy! A 45-yard touchdown catch by Chris Stump with only 17 seconds to go in the first half. From Luke Wagner. Wagner rolls right, lets it go. Stump splits the pair of defenders and takes it into the checkerboard end zone for the touchdown for Navy. A late flag thrown down at the 15-yard line. Stephen Gorski getting the explanation. So it was unsportsmanlike conduct after the play. So the play results in the touchdown. The Luke Wagner 45-yard touchdown pass to Chris Stump, putting the midshipmen up by 3 scores with only 17 seconds left to go. Aggressive play calling by young Navy offensive coordinator, Second Lieutenant in the United States Marine Corps, Liam Brown. Last year, the captain of this midshipman team. This year, the midseason offensive coordinator. Sutton's line drive, extra point is good. And with 17 seconds left to go in the first half, Navy has jumped out to a 21-0 lead over Penn. That was a quick one. That scoring drive, 2 plays, 66 yards, 15 seconds. The Luke Wagner pass complete to Chris Stump for the touchdown. But before that, really the big play that put it into scoring position was Wagner finding Biamungu Nakiri for 21 yards to the Penn 45-yard line before that 45-yard touchdown pass. So a pair of touchdown passes for Luke Wagner. His second and third of the season. And right there for 45 yards, now his longest touchdown pass of the season. So they walk off the 15 yards on the kickoff, putting Ja'Cory Sutton all the way back at his own 20-yard line. John Johnson. Back to return along with Matt McKillop. All the way up to their own 25 as a freshman. Squibs it to midfield. Bounces in the air to the 50-yard line. Short man return by Ben Liu, the freshman from Cary, North Carolina, out to midfield. Now 11 seconds left to go. Navy scores on a 45-yard touchdown pass. This would be upwards of a 50-yard touchdown pass if Mike Malone is able to convert. Now with just a few seconds to go in the first half for the Penn Quakers. Both Navy and Penn are 1-0 in the South Division. Penn a perfect 5-0 in the season. Navy 4-1. It's like they're going to take a shot too. Here's Malone. And he'll be sacked. David Niski, the senior from Shelton, Connecticut, makes the tackle, and that'll do it. They will head to the locker rooms. 3 second quarter touchdowns for the midshipmen. A touchdown run by Hunter Jennings, a touchdown catch by Jake Berger, and also a touchdown catch by Chris Stump, and that's the difference right now. Halftime in Annapolis. Navy leads Penn 21-0. Collegiate Sprint Football League action tonight, senior night at Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium. Halftime in Annapolis at Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium in Annapolis. Navy leading Penn 21 to nothing. Penn Quakers coming into this one undefeated 5-0. The midshipmen at 4-1. A win for Navy sends them to the CSFL championship game on Saturday, November 16th at West Point. 246 yards of total offense in the first half for the midshipmen as the Navy defense held Penn to only 38 yards of total offense and only 2 rushing yards as Navy threw the ball for 162 yards. Luke Wagner, 9 of 14, 2 touchdown passes. Those touchdown passes thrown both in the second quarter, one to Chris Stump and also a touchdown pass to Jake Berger. And the other score for the midshipmen was a 13-yard touchdown run by Hunter Jennings. Really, one of the big difference in this one was third down for Navy. They were able to convert nicely on third down as the midshipmen were 3 of 6 on third down, and Penn was only 2 of 9. And Navy defensively, 5 sacks in this one and 5 tackles for losses. So the Navy defense, especially up front, that front line of David Niski, Andrew Bailey, Nick Tabor, and Major Kent doing a big job keeping the freshman quarterback Michael Malone in check for Penn. So running the ball, Hunter Jennings, 10 carries for 78 yards, had that touchdown run, also his long 30-yard run. He's averaging almost 8 yards a carry, and he ran the ball 10 times. And it was Roderick Freeman, Luke Wagner, and E.B. Denson also each picking up some short yardage, only 4 rushers for Navy in that first half. First half, Michael Malone, the freshman quarterback for Penn, 4 of 11 for 36 yards. He had no interceptions. A couple balls were tipped up in the air and almost intercepted by the midshipmen, and 4 different Penn receivers in all making short catches. But so far, it has been all about the ability of this Navy defense to shut down the Penn offense when they have needed to, and also this Navy offense scoring big in the third quarter. And really the biggest touchdown, giving them the 3 touchdown lead, was that 45-yard touchdown pass from Luke Wagner to Chris Stump with only 17 seconds remaining in the first half. So Navy, again, shut down Penn deep in the Quakers' territory. They got the ball back at midfield. There was a pass to Nakiri that got them to the 45-yard line, and that's from where Wagner was able to find his classmate on this senior night, fellow senior Chris Stump into the end zone for the touchdown, and that's where we stand right now, the midshipmen with that lead. Also going on right now on the yard at the U.S. Naval Academy at Glenn Warner Soccer Facility in the second half that is just underway. BU has gone out in front of Navy 1-0. But what a game it has been for Navy goalie Pierce Holbrook. He has 6 saves so far, 7 shots on goal for BU, 10 shots in all. Navy not really able to get things going offensively in the soccer game going on against BU right now. They only have 2 shots, one of those on goal. And right now, BU leads Navy at the 49-minute mark in the second half, 1-0 in what is a crazy Patriot Men's Soccer League. All sorts of postseason tournament implications in this one. But Navy, what they need to do is get the win. And right now they trail 1-0 to BU. But what a game by Navy goalie Pierce Holbrook. He has 6 saves so far as BU has 11 shots in total, 7 shots on goal. Midshipmen are back out on the field. They will get the ball to start the second half. Penn won the opening coin toss, and they decided to take the ball. So Navy now with an opportunity to maybe go up by 4 scores. They lead at 21-0 now as we move to the second half. Navy fans, don't forget the online shopping experience offered by your partner Fanatics at NavySports.com. Just click on the shop tab and find all the latest Navy Under Armour apparel at great prices. The store is a great place to shop for yourself or the Navy fan in your family, especially with the holidays right around the corner. Catch the latest Navy merchandise and Under Armour swag at NavySports.com. Big first half for head coach Captain Carter Reading's midshipmen. They try to clinch a spot in the CSFL championship game 2 weeks from tomorrow, Saturday, November 16th at West Point against an undefeated Army team that came in here in the Star Game presented by USAA and beat the Midshipmen. Short kickoff and fielded and hit hard was Sam Stotler, the sophomore linebacker from Martinsburg, West Virginia, came up to catch that ball. And just like that, Navy starts the second half with some more good field position. They'll have it at their own 43-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Midshipmen after a big first half by senior quarterback Luke Wagner. 9 of 14, 162 yards, 2 touchdowns passing. He has backs either side of him. There'll be a whistle on the field. They want to reset the game clock. Putting 3 seconds back on the clock. That's what they'll do. As you see, Hunter Jennings in the backfield along with his runner back, Hunter Jennings and Broderick Freeman. The ball was returned on the kickoff, so there should be some time going off the clock. So apparently it was a fair catch that they're going to say with no time running off the clock. So we got that all worked out, set to go. 1st and 10 for Navy. First play of the second half. Luke Wagner sends Jennings in motion. We'll throw it to him on the run. Jennings cuts it up the middle, then pushes it back outside. First down for Hunter Jennings and more. Into Penn territory, inside the 45 to the 44-yard line. On the pass, on the swing play from Luke Wagner to Hunter Jennings. Jennings getting there in motion with some open field in Navy. One play, a first down into Penn territory. Just underway, second half. Navy looking to score their 4th straight drive. Keeping it himself is Wagner. Nice carry of 6 right up the middle. Taken down by Cam Janik, the current Collegiate Sprint Football League Defensive Player of the Week for the Quakers. 5'10" senior linebacker, Marblehead, Massachusetts, outside of Boston, and Marblehead High School. Second down and 4 for Navy. First drive of the second half. After taking the kickoff, Wagner and Jennings in the backfield. Receivers to either side, looks to the far side, and it will bounce into the hands of Jackson Sudith, ruled incomplete. Sudith tried to go down to get it, just bounced off the turf. Goes incomplete. Third down and 4 for Navy now. 13:33. Time left in this second quarter that is just underway. Navy sends 4 receivers to the bottom of your screen. Wagner will look at that way and then try to play the numbers game up the middle. Dives about a yard short of the first down. So they've sent those 4 receivers wide to the right. And then Wagner himself just keeps it, takes the pass. It'll be 4th and 1, and the Mids are going to go for it. Play comes in from the sidelines. Offensive coordinator Liam Brown. Shipman will break from the huddle with 4th and 1 at the Penn 34-yard line. Everybody jammed in tight. Right up the middle. Broderick Freeman has enough for the first down as they move the chains, as the Navy drive stays alive on the handoff to freshman running back Roderick Freeman from Kernersville, North Carolina, and Atkins High School. His first season of college football. This is Sprint Football, the Collegiate Sprint Football League, dating all the way back to 1934. It started out as the old Eastern 150-pound football league. Now the weight restrictions are up to 178 pounds. They flip on the reverse. Good pickup by Chris Stump, the senior wide receiver who already has a touchdown catch of 45 yards tonight. Picks up 5 on that reverse. Second down and 5 for Navy. As the mids are taking time off the clock. Already 3.5 minutes played in this third quarter. Mids with the ball from the kickoff in the second half. That's Freeman right behind Wagner under center. In motion, Jennings. Play action. Hit while he throws. And excellent pressure by Gavin Griswold, junior linebacker from Tustin, California, making Luke Wagner throw that away. Big defensive play there. The linebacker for Penn. Third down and 5 for Navy from the Joe Bellino 27-yard line. Heisman Trophy winner. The midshipman honored his number 27 down on the field, and for Navy is right now. Wagner gets it to Stump. Got it right over the outreached hands of Matt Kentra. Perfectly delivered pass for a first down for Navy. Put it right where he wanted to. Quick release. Just dropped it in there between 3 Penn defenders for the first down. That's Jackson Sudet. Wide to the top of your screen. Stump. Wide right. Handed Jennings up the middle. Off a tackle to the 10-yard line. Pickup of 4. Griswold makes the stop for Penn. Penn defense needs to at least hold the midshipmen now to a field goal. Maybe trying to open up a 4-touchdown lead. Freeman talked it over with his quarterback. Play action, quick toss, and a quick tackle. Right back to the line of scrimmage. Getting a lot of play action. Signal caller Liam Brown, second lieutenant, United States Marine Corps, commissioned last May after being the senior captain of this Navy Sprint football team 1 year ago. Third and 6. Ball is loose. It's recovered, and it's going to be brought back. Here comes Penn down the sidelines, going all the way. The scoop and score. Oh, diving. Did he get in the end zone? It looks like he was short. Charles Taucus. Scoop and almost scored down to the 2-yard line. Touchdown saving tackle by Luke Wagner, the quarterback, who fumbled the ball off the snap. Somehow got all the way back to the 2-yard line. Brought down Taucus. Charles Taucus thought he had a scoop and score, but he was stopped at the 2-yard line, diving ahead. Huge play by Penn, keeping Navy out of the end zone and getting very near the end zone themselves. First and goal for the Quakers from the Navy 2-yard line with straight up 9 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Penn trying to get on the board, turn the Navy fumble into points. Malone with Rebstock in the backfield. Hands to Rebstock. He is stopped right at the 1-yard line. Andrew Bailey in on the tackle, along with Mick Tabor. Second down and goal from the 1-yard line. Malone with Rebstock in the backfield. Malone gives to Rebstock, cuts it back. Runs right into the arms of Major Kent, and he is stopped again. Major Kent actually stopped him for a loss. Back to the 3-yard line. Third and goal now as the Navy defense trying to keep the Quakers out of the end zone. Penn thinking they had the scoop and score, but it was Navy quarterback Luke Wagner running down Charles Tuckus. Here's Malone with Rebstock to his right side now. He'll keep it himself up the middle, and he's brought down. Andrew Bailey with the tackle. Helped out there by Jake Walensky. And now it's fourth and goal from the 3-yard line. This Navy defensive line shut down so far tonight. This will be the fourth crack that Penn has at it. Michael Malone looks over to the sidelines, gets the call. On fourth down, Malone again with Rebstock to his right shoulder, hands it to him, and it'll be another tackle for a loss. Midshipmen get the ball back on downs as the defense shuts down Penn from originally first and goal at the 2, and on fourth down, the tackle for a loss back at the 5-yard line. Andrew Bailey leads the Navy defense off the field. And what a momentum swing that could have been for Penn. Navy looked like they were going to go into the end zone. It was the fumble. It was picked up by Charles Tuckus, the linebacker. Looked to have the scoop and score, but was dragged down at the 2-yard line. And then Navy holds Penn from getting in. Now the midshipmen try to get a little breathing room. Maybe a pickup of 3. But it's that interior Navy defensive line. Niski, Bailey, Tabor, Kent, Jake Walensky, the linebacker, getting into that. And the mids make the defensive stop, getting the ball back on downs. Now they need to get it from deep in their own territory. 6.5 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Navy out in front, 21-0. Really what you're looking at is a 14-point swing. Instead of Navy getting another 7 and then Penn scoring 7 themselves, the mids keep the Quakers out of the end zone. Luke Wagner hands off to Hunter Jennings to the 9-yard line. So now it's the turn of this Penn defensive line. Matt McKillop, senior linebacker from Scarsdale, makes the stop. 3rd and 6. Navy with the ball at their own 9-yard line and a 3-touchdown lead. Johnson will snap it back in the shotgun. Luke Wagner runs right into the arms of Matt McKillop. Back-to-back tackles for the linebacker for Penn. And the Penn defense comes back to hold, looking to flip the field. Josh Johnson will back up right around the Navy 40-yard line. Back in his own end zone is Navy punter Ja'Cory Sutton. Sutton's fourth punt of the afternoon, averaging 40 yards on his first 3 punts. He's able to get it away. Johnson wheels back to his own 45, turns, looks to get to the far sidelines, into Navy territory, down at the Navy 47-yard line. Special teams tackle by David Niski. And Penn, on the previous drive, had it first and goal from the 2-yard line. Couldn't get it in. Now it's first down and 10 from the Navy 47. A little over 4.5 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Penn Quakers trying to keep alive their longest winning streak since 2010. 14 years in the making. Malone. This time, times the throw. Down the far sideline. Airs it out. It goes incomplete. No flag on the play. They're barking on the far sidelines, wanting a call on Sean Betway on coverage for Navy, but it goes incomplete. One official right down at the 5-yard line making the call. Good coverage by Betway for Navy. Second down and 10 now. For Penn, trying to get things going on offense. JT Goodman to the Navy 46-yard line. Again, third and long. For Penn. Coming into the game, Malone, fifth in the Collegiate Sprint Football League for passing, was 638 yards. He's thrown the ball 12 times, completed 4 for just 36 yards today. Look for his 5th completion. Rolls right. He's going to keep it himself and is taken out of bounds. Tremendous pursuit by Sam Stotler. Stotler was not going to be denied catching the Penn quarterback, and he does. Only maybe a yard on the gain. It looked as though Malone had some running room, so the Navy defense stops him again. But the job that defensive coordinator James McNeil, United States Navy Reserve, retired, is doing, coaching this team. And another nice punt for Penn inside the Navy 8-yard line. Head coach Captain Carter Reading in his first year as head coach of the team he played for. A 2016 graduate of the Naval Academy. Member of the Sprint football team from 2012 to 2015. And then after his commissioning, he remained on the yard with a temporary assignment duty as an assistant coach, helping the Mids to a 30-5 overall record between coaching and playing here. Not a lot there for Hunter Jennings, as we've seen both these defensive units toughen up here in this third quarter that is only 3 minutes remaining in it. Navy deep in their own territory at the 5-yard line. Second down and 13 for the midshipmen, scoring all their points, all 3 touchdowns in the second quarter. Looked to be moving towards the end zone on the first drive of this third quarter, but then it was a fumble, brought back 90 yards to the Navy 2-yard line, but the Navy defense shut down. The power running of Hunter Jennings. First. Oh, very close to the first down. They're going to mark it just short. Third down and 1 for the midshipmen. After that run by Hunter Jennings. Glad to have you watching tonight's game on YouTube. Jennings again, and he will have enough for the first down. I'm Scott Wyckoff here in Annapolis tonight. Friday Night Lights, senior night. 14 seniors for the midshipmen honored on the field with their family and friends before this one, along with our Navy Athletics production crew led by Director Shane Bowler. Special thanks tonight to Navy Assistant Sports Information Director Chris Whitehead, also to Lauren Templin, Assistant Director of Athletic Communications at Penn, doing all the heavy lifting today, all week long, helping me prepare for tonight's ball game that we're bringing to you on YouTube. Goes incomplete. And while we've got a second, we want to give you some good news from today. Pete Medhurst, the voice of the midshipman, who over the years has done many of these Navy sprint games, this week diagnosed with a cancerous brain tumor. His wife Brenda reporting today, thanking everyone for their thoughts and prayers as Pete went into surgery today and is now in recovery. She says the surgery went well. They were successfully able to remove the largest of the brain tumors for Pete. So a big play on the outside, breaking it down the sidelines, cutting it back into Penn territory is E.B. Denson, all the way down to the 39-yard line. Maybe Pete's got the iPad or the phone in his hospital room here in Annapolis. Maybe saw that. So great news that Pete, the doctors say the surgery went well today, in recovery. His wife Brenda asking for everyone's thoughts and prayers as they navigate the next steps in his recovery. The voice of the midshipman, Pete Medhurst. We say our thoughts and prayers to Pete and his family after that successful surgery today. Hunter Jennings breaks free. Jennings to the 25, inside the 20. Jennings in a foot race. Touchdown, as Pete Medhurst would say, into the checkerboard end zone. Hunter Jennings, second touchdown of the night. Team leading 10th of the season. And the midshipmen have gone up by 4 scores, 27-0, with 22 seconds left to go here in the third quarter. Big touchdown run from Hunter Jennings, 39 yards into the end zone. Ja'Cory Sutton on for the extra point. It is good. With 22 seconds remaining in the third quarter, Navy leads Penn 28-0. Hunter Jennings, 39-yard touchdown run, 6 plays, 92 yards, 2 minutes and 51 seconds. What a night it has been for the sophomore Navy running back. 16 carries, 132 yards, 2 touchdowns. The longest of them right there, that 39-yard touchdown run. Just after you thought Penn was going to be going into the end zone, pulling to within 2 touchdowns, now the midshipmen lead by 4 touchdowns, 28-0. I know last week, Navy head coach Captain Carter Reading really happy with the way his team came out off the bye week, really determined against Malloy in the shutout win. They have carried that over to week 6 tonight, looking to build on their 4-1 record and 1-0 record in the South. Sutton drives it through the checkerboard end zone for the touchback. The freshman Navy kicker from Camden, North Carolina, Camden County High School. Navy's offense with 384 total yards, and Navy's defense has held Penn to a total of 36 yards tonight for the undefeated 5-0 Penn Quakers. What a job the United States Navy Reserve retired defensive coordinator James McNeil has put together tonight. And another tackle for a loss for the mid. This time it's Major Kent in for the tackle for a loss. Now 8 tackles for a loss for the midshipman for more than 30 yards. So that will do it. The midshipmen head to the fourth quarter with a 28-0 lead. We'll be back with the final 15 coming up with the Collegiate Sprint Football League Friday Night Lights from Annapolis. It has been a dominant ball game for the midshipmen here tonight, both offensively and defensively. As we move now to the fourth quarter, Navy leads 28-0. Penn with the ball at their own 20-yard line. Second down and 14 after the tackle for the loss by Major Kent. Waiting for the officials to whistle this play. Everybody's up on the line, ready and raring to go. Holding off. If they're waiting for us, guys, we're ready to go. Let's do it. Navy looking for their 5th win of the year. Their only loss, a tough one here a few weeks ago against the Black Knights of the Hudson. Army beating Navy here in the Star Series game. Army singing second in that one, but if Navy's able to hold on here, a win tonight sends the midshipmen to the Collegiate Sprint Football League Championship game on Saturday, and there's another sack for the midshipmen. That'll be Saturday, November 16th. This time, Sam Stotler slicing through. That is the 6th sack of the night for Navy. 3rd and 23 now for Penn. On a gorgeous night here in the state capital of Maryland. Game time temperature, 70 degrees. It's cooled off a little bit. A little bit of a breeze down in the field. Malone rolls right from his own goal line. Stops. Looks to throw downfield. Does now. Completes it out to the 21-yard line to Jake Wang. The senior tight end diving to make the catch, but well short of the first down. He's not even back to the original line of scrimmage. So Navy comes out, does in the first series here in the fourth quarter what they have been doing all night. Shut down defense against these undefeated Penn Quakers. Penn in their wins scoring 24 points, 41 points, 49 points, 24 and 24. Tonight, nothing so far. They mark it at the 21-yard line. 4th down. Seamus Carrasco at the Navy 45-yard line to take the punt from Montemayor. It will bounce and take a big bounce for Penn all the way past the American Athletic Conference logo down to the Navy 21-yard line. As the the Collegiate Sprint Football League Special Team Player of the Week continues to shine. Adrian Montemayor, a senior from Santa Catarina, Mexico, continuing what has been an unbelievable season for him. Another long punt deep into Navy territory. He has been a bright spot. 8 punts, averaging 40 yards a punt. That punt for 57 yards. Luke Wagner's handoff up the middle. 3 yards on the carry by Hunter Jennings. Big night for the Navy sophomore running back. 16 carries, 132 yards, 2 touchdowns, averaging 8 yards a carry. 2nd down and 7 for Navy. Ball on their own 24-yard line. 13 minutes straight up remaining in regulation. The Mids with a 28-0 lead. Trying to push their record to 5-1. On the road next week at Caldwell in New Jersey, outside of New York. Wagner hit hard and broken up. At the Penn 40, Jordan Ortiz, senior defensive back from Westfield, New Jersey, knocks that one down as Luke Wagner took a licking as he released that ball. 3rd and 7 now for Navy. Wagner, 13 of 21 for 233 yards. He has thrown for 2 touchdowns. Johnson snaps it back, play action, near sideline for a 1st down. Akiri makes the catch. They move the chains, and Navy converts again on 3rd down. Navy now 6 of 12 on 3rd down, and you flip the coin and take a look at what Penn's been like on 3rd down. Only 2 of 12. One of the big differences in this ball game. 3rd down conversions for Navy offensively and their ability to stop Penn on 3rd down themselves. New set of downs for Navy at their own 42-yard line. Wagner gave it to Hunter Jennings, and there was nowhere to go. He couldn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. Chasing out of bounds by Gavin Griswold. 5'9" linebacker from Tustin, California, Foothill High School. What a tradition of collegiate sprint football, Penn and Navy. This is the 88th meeting between these two sprint football teams, dating all the way back to 1946. 79 seasons, all the way back to the year after World War II and playing sprint football. Back when they started, it was 150 pounds. All players had to be 150 pounds or less. Now that has moved all the way to 178 pounds. Rosters in sprint football are limited to 70 players. There is no off-campus recruiting. You can send emails, texts, phone calls, but no off-campus recruiting in sprint football. Players are required to weigh in twice a week. Kind of like wrestling, the last weigh-in is 40 hours before kickoff. They have to be 178 pounds or less. 9 teams in the CSFL. Navy and Penn. Wagner throws on the run, wide open, stumped at midfield. Inside the 40 to the 38. Big night for Chris Stump. His 6th catch. 150 yards in receptions for the Navy senior wide receiver, who was hit hard on that one. He'll come off to the sidelines and get a rest. In addition to Navy and Penn, Army, Cornell, Caldwell, who Navy plays next week, Chestnut Hill, Cornell, Mansfield, St. Thomas Aquinas, and newcomer this season to the Collegiate Sprint Football League, Malloy University. And here's an interesting note. former President Jimmy Carter, who just a few weeks ago celebrated his 100th birthday, played 150-pound sprint football while a midshipman at the Naval Academy. Now players are allowed to be 178 pounds or less. It's an amazing tradition, as we said, dating all the way back for Navy to 1946. In this long series with Penn, Navy leads the Ivy Leaguers, 78 wins, 8 losses, and 2 ties. They've won their last 5 Navy has against Penn, and 10 of their last 12. Big weekend of water polo at Lejeune Hall. Navy takes on Fordham tomorrow at 6 o'clock. Wagner Sunday at 10 a.m. Water polo on the hall, on the yard at the hall, Lejeune Hall, tomorrow at 6 o'clock against Fordham, and then Sunday morning against Wagner. After this play, we'll give you an update on the Navy soccer game going on tonight at Glenn Warner Soccer Facility on the yard against BU. Breaking tackles, grinding out yardage on first down. Big night for E.B. Denson. So at the 79-36 mark in the second half, BU leads Navy now 1-0. BU has peppered Navy shooting. They have 15 shots, 8 on goal, 7 saves for Navy goalie Pierce Holbrook. Midshipman here. Second down and 4. Again, it's Denson, the 5'6" freshman running back from Boston University. Went to Brighton Academy. What a tradition of football they have at Brighton Academy. Also basketball. You hear of some great college basketball players coming out of the alma mater of E.B. Denson. 3rd and 4 now for Navy. They've converted on 7 of 13 third downs. They try to push the pile here, and they're going to come up about a yard short. It'll be 4th and 1 now for Navy. They're in Penn territory at the 29-yard line with under 8.5 minutes remaining in this one. So Navy will go for it on 4th down. Looking over for the call from offensive coordinator Liam Brown. 2nd Lieutenant, United States Marine Corps, commissioned in May. Coaching on temporary assignment here before his call to duty for the Marine Corps coming up at the end of the season. The pitch goes out to the right side to Hunter Jennings. Jennings turns the corner and has the first down. Any way they can get the ball into the hands of Hunter Jennings, they're going to do it. That time on the pitch, he turns the corner, and a new set of downs for Navy. His 19th carry of the ball game. Well over his season average of 111 yards. Hunter Jennings now with 133 yards rushing and a pair of touchdowns in this 4-touchdown lead by Navy. The 3-time defending Collegiate Sprint Football League champions. Jennings gives it again to Denson. He's thrown down for a loss. Jake and Sarah, senior linebacker from Woodbine, New Jersey, Ocean City High School, makes a stop. Tackle for a loss of a yard. The Navy offensive line. From left to right, Andy Jones, Tom Gonglick. Center, Kerry Johnson. Robert Flores, the right guard. The right tackle, John Dutton. Tight end, E.B. Denson. There's the pitch. Rolling right is Wagner. Throws on the run as he is hit and completes it. To who else but Chris Stump. Stump with a first down as Wagner releases just as he's hit. And Stump tiptoes down the far sidelines Pejovic pressuring Wagner to throw the ball. And another completion from senior to senior. Stump. 6 catches now for 155 yards. And a touchdown. He's wide right to the top of your screen. Hand up the middle to Broderick Freeman. 5'10" freshman running back from Kernersville, North Carolina. Seeing some time in here now, giving Hunter Jennings a little bit of a break. Checking back in will be E.B. Denson. Denson kind of a slot back split end now. He will replace Nakiri in the lineup. Second down and 10 for Navy at the Penn 15-yard line. 5 minutes remaining in this one. Under center this time, Wagner. To Freeman. Bulls ahead to the Roger Staubach 12-yard line. On the field here at Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium. The Joe Bellino 27-yard line, the Roger Staubach 12-yard line. The two Navy midshipmen who have won the Heisman Trophy. And how neat has it been this year for Navy football? Blake Horvath being mentioned in the talk of the Heisman Trophy as Navy is on the road tomorrow. Big game in the American Athletic Conference in Houston against Rice. Coverage on the Navy Radio Network begins at 3 o'clock. Wagner into the end zone, off the hands this time of Stump and incomplete. I'll be hosting a special Navy Insider program on WBAL Radio in Baltimore beginning at 2 o'clock. 3 o'clock, it's the Navy Constellation Radio Network pregame show with Joe Miller, Keith Mills, yours truly, our producer Johnny Goldsmith, and they're in spirits with us in recovery right now here in Annapolis after surgery today to have a brain tumor removed. Pete Medhurst, his wife Brenda, saying the surgery went well. Hopefully Pete will be able to listen to the ball game tomorrow. Flag will be thrown. Looks as though it might be a delay of game. So it'll make it a longer field goal attempt by Ja'Cory Sutton. It'll be held by Luke O'Connell from the 24-yard line. 34-yard attempt for the freshman field goal kicker. Lines it up. Take those 2 steps to the left. Snap is good. Kick is away. And Navy has themselves one good young kicker. Field goal is good. And with 4:16 left to go, Navy has opened up a 31-0 lead on the Penn Quakers. What a performance tonight by the midshipmen against the Penn team. They came in here to Annapolis tonight, a perfect 5-0, 1-0 in the South. And with this win here tonight, Navy will head to the Collegiate Sprint Football League Championship game on Saturday, November 16th at West Point. Before that, one final regular season game in suburban New York, Caldwell University in Caldwell, New Jersey, next Saturday, a week from tomorrow. Penn, this will be their first loss of the season. They'll drop to 5-1, and they have a road trip, and not far at all, in suburban Philadelphia against Chestnut Hill. So, tough one tonight for Penn. Not only does their undefeated record fall, but also their chance for a spot in the championship game against Army. So Navy with a chance of revenge, a little retribution for that loss in the Star Series game here a few weeks ago. The kick returned by Tom Rebstock right up the middle, senior running back from Medford, New Jersey, on special teams. Out to the 25-yard line. That's where the Penn offense will return to the field. An offense that has only accounted for 33 yards tonight, 46 yards passing, And how about this? Negative 13 yards rushing because of 9 Navy tackles for a loss, 6 sacks for the midshipmen. Freshman quarterback, learning experience from Malone, those across the middle, off the hands of Jake Wang. It goes incomplete. Senior night here at Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium. The midshipmen recognizing 14 senior players, including Andrew Bailey, Simon Berger, Tyler Cox, Robert Flores, Tyron Francis, Andy Jones, Major Kent, Lane Landis, Andres McCann, David Niski, Chris Stump, Jackson Sudith, Jonathan Swift, Luke Wagner, Billy Sanchez, and J.P. Albrecht, all honored on the field here tonight on senior night. Those 14 seniors, family members, parents, brothers, sisters, or some grandparents here, some aunts and uncles, some cousins, some girlfriends. Just a neat way to get things going and really focus from the players. So many emotions on senior night. The last time you're playing at Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium, your family members there down in the field for you, but able to put that in another compartment and then come back and play like they have today. Malone throws it behind Zeitlian. He wanted a flag. None will be thrown. It'll be 4th down, and Penn will need to punt the ball again. So all the emotions of senior night, from the ceremony to the game, everything working out perfectly for the midshipmen in this one. Back to return his first punt of the night, Tyler Cox. He'll step up, call the fair catch, and make it at his own 44-yard line. So the senior from North Plains, Oregon, Glencoe High School, on special teams, makes the fair catch. Luke Wagner back out there at quarterback with 3 minutes and 52 seconds left to go. The senior sends his mids to the line. They're waiting to set the chains on the far sidelines. Once they get those chains set, we'll get going. Still 1-0 in the second half. BU leads Navy's men's soccer team. Big senior night for Luke Wagner. Hands it off up the middle to the gold block end at midfield. And what a night it has been for the Navy offensive line. And here come the seniors as they leave the field. David Niski, Andrew Bailey, defensively giving handshakes to Andy Jones and Tom Gonklick. Kerry Johnson watches his teammates that are seniors. Robert Flores, a senior, comes off, as does Jackson Sudith. Nice defensive play by the Quakers, Matt Kentra. So in quarterback for Navy, sophomore Luke O'Connell, 5'11", from Darien, Connecticut, the Hopkins School. Luke Wagner's night is complete with under 3 minutes to go in this one. He finishes 16 of 26 passing for 285 yards, 2 touchdown passes. He also ran the ball 4 times for 10 yards. A nice farewell to Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium for Luke Wagner and his senior teammates. Nice throw from the near hash mark to the far sidelines, complete to Jake Berger, the freshman wide receiver who had his first touchdown catch of his college career earlier in this one. Not enough for the first down. It'll be 4th down. And the mids will punt. Can't forget about special teams. Navy's been strong on special teams. Ja'Cory Sutton in his 4 previous punts averaging 41 yards. His long punt was 48, and it'll be a timeout on the field. A reminder, once again, it is one of the best traditions in all of college basketball. It's coming up this November 8th, a week from tonight, as Navy hosts the 11th annual Veterans Classic at Alumni Hall. The event will begin with a 6 p.m. tip-off between Boston College and VCU, followed by an 8:30 meeting between Navy and Harvard. The Veterans Classic started 14-year head coach Ed DeChellis, when he came to Navy, decided this would be a great way to honor veterans. And now, in its 11th season, the Veterans Classic. For tickets and to all Navy sporting events, you can call 1-800-US4-NAVY or visit navysports.com. Josh Johnson back from the midshipman, fumble the punt. Ja'Cory Sutton is drilled. Jordan Ortiz takes him down as the snap came back and he fumbled it. Was able to hold on, though. So a big special teams play by Penn as they try to get some points, avoid the shutout with 1:56 remaining. At the Navy 32-yard line, Malone. And Navy will take a timeout. Defensive coordinator James McNeil walks out on the field along with his linebacker coach, Second Lieutenant Mitchell Waters, a temporary assignment duty coach out there talking things over as the Mids want to keep the shutout on the board. Love to end up with a shutout in this one. 31-0, they lead. This Navy defense has held Penn to 33 yards of total offense, 46 passing yards, minus 13 rushing because of a slew of sacks by the midshipmen. Here's Malone, looks into the end zone, turning, incomplete. Andy Folletta diving in the corner into the double coverage. Can't get there. But it does stop the clock with 1:50 left to go. 2nd down and 10 now for Penn from the Navy 32-yard line. So with the win, Navy will go to 5-1, and they earn a spot in the CSFL championship game on Saturday, November 16th against Army at West Point. The Quakers will drop to 5-1, 1-1 in the South. Pump fake. Though that same way again. And the same result, incompletion towards the same receiver, Andy Folletta, into that same double coverage. Tyler Cox and Sean Betway. 3rd and 10 now. After the Navy punter was tackled after he fumbled the ball on the snap back to him. Tightly in, near side, handoff, cutting back is Rebstock. Rebstock to the far sideline, hit at the 25 and pushed back. Short of the first down, and he remains inbounds. Jonathan Swift, one of the 14 seniors honored here tonight, makes a tackle. As the injured Quaker on the field is Andy Folletta, the sophomore defensive back from Surf City, New Jersey, Southern Regional. It has been all Navy tonight on senior night. The last home game of the season for the Navy sprint football team. 1:30 left to go in this one. The numbers right now standing out. And again, third down conversions. Navy, 7 of 16, and Penn, only 2 of 13. 6 sacks for Navy, and 9 tackles for losses. All added up to a 31-0 lead, but Penn trying to have something to say about that. Get some points on the board. Malone hands to Rebstock. Inside the 20 to the 19. Short of the first down. The midshipmen will get the ball back on downs again. And they will be able to take a couple knees and have a nice celebration after this one. A lot of Navy parents here tonight. We saw them setting up a cool buffet for the players after the game down in the main concourse here at Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium. And that'll be a lot of fun. Thanks again to Navy Assistant Sports Information Director Chris Whitehead for leading me through this one with all the news and notes and all the specifics about this Navy team that moves to 5-1, and also to Lauren Templin, Assistant Sports Information Director at Penn, as they surround their quarterback, Luke O'Connell. He takes the knee, flips it back to the referee, Stephen Gorski. We'll have to do that probably 2 more times. This will be over. So, in this 88th meeting, dating back to 1946, Navy will have now won the last 6 games against Penn, 11 of the last 13, and Navy will now lead the series 78 wins, 8 losses, and 2 ties. And for Navy, they travel to Caldwell a week from tomorrow, and then on the 16th, Saturday at West Point, playing for their 4th consecutive CSFL championship. And I know more importantly for some of these players, revenge from that loss to Army earlier this season in the USAA Star Series game right here. So that's the final knee. Players will come to the 50-yard line. They will walk out on the field, led by the 2 coaches, Carter Reading and Jerry McConnell. They lead their teams out to midfield. They will shake hands, and as the final 10 seconds in this one clock down, a dominant performance by the midshipmen tonight. 439 yards of total offense for Navy, and Navy's defense holds Penn to just 42 yards in total offense. The final score tonight, Navy 31, Penn nothing. For our director, Shane Bowler, and our entire Navy Athletics crew, we ask all of you to keep the voice of the midshipman, Pete Medhurst, in your prayers, and thank you for joining us. Have a good night, everybody.